Welcome back to Rapid Fire Insights, where curiosity meets velocity. I'm your host, Dave McCall, here with my co-host, Chris Hanna.
Hello, Dave. I'm excited today. I think we got a really curious topic in person we're able to talk about here, especially when the Windsor Essex region.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And this is kind of along your lines too. You being a video specialist, our guest today is Amanda Gellman. Sorry, Amanda Gellman. My jaw stopped working for a minute there. She is the director of the Windsor Center for Film, Digital Media, and Creative Arts. They have a building downtown that is only about a year there, but the organization's been around for about 10 years. They've got some phenomenal programs for adults, kids, people of all ethnicities, ages. It's just a really versatile place. So very excited to talk to her and get, a little bit more information.
Well, let's bring her on.
Hello, Amanda.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very good, very good. Welcome, and thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you. Just one little correction on the title. So I am a director. I'm on the board of directors. I'm the volunteer. I chair the board, and we don't currently have any staff, but we do have contractors.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up. I was I'm misinformed, so thank you for that. Now the Center for does it have a shorter name or what do you call it?
Well, we just call it the Windsor Film Center. When we finish our new building, it'll be called the Media Arts Community Center, but we haven't put that sign up yet until we finish renovating.
Okay. So the Windsor Film Center, it's 10 years old now. Mm-hmm. How did it start? What's the beginning? And in particular, how did you get involved in it?
Oh, that's a long story. So it started, there were some filmmakers in town that approached me to get an organization going. And because I knew how to organize and write grants and those kinds of things, I got on the board and decided I didn't want to be the face of it. I would just be the treasurer and all would be fine. And then a few years into it, we realized that it was growing by leaps and bounds, and it was taking so much time. I am a volunteer, but I probably put in about 20 to 30 hours a week. And wow. It was taking so much time that most people couldn't do that. But I was determined that it was going to happen. So I took it on, and we got some new board members. And in the middle of all that, which explains one of my interests, my daughter was starting film school, and I needed her to have a summer job. And so that's how the camp got started. I myself have a degree in art and degree in business, and have done marketing my whole life and videos and all of that through corporate videos. But she was starting film school and needed a summer job. And I said, well, why don't you teach kids how to make film? And so that's how the camp got started. We purchased some equipment through Hawk Shops. I funded it myself. And her summer job started, and then we hired someone to work with her. But then by year 2, I think it was the second year, it just exploded.
I was just going to ask, how many kids were coming to the camp on average?
Well, the first year we had 20 kids, and then we had 60, and then we had over 150.
Oh, wow.
Total of 450 have gone through the camp. So by year 2, we were writing grants. We were writing grants to help fund equipment. And not that I'm not going to give you time for questions, but just to explain this, that's how the center grew. Because we went from hiring 1 or 2 people a summer to 10 to 15 to now 22. And all the people that were hired kept saying, how do you help us get jobs when we graduate? And so we kept building, saying, okay, we'll help you. And then all of a sudden we had 100 people who we had to help.
Well, I know that in Windsor, the film industry in Windsor is definitely growing. We were just talking with Gavin Booth. And we were having a nice little discussion on the growing industry. A lot of people are leaving the area, or were leaving the area, to expand their experiences and their job opportunities. The center itself, how is it focused on keeping that talent here? What are you offering the locals?
Yeah, our mandate is to grow talent and help with job creation. So we provide, for an example, a Monday night networking group, and it's free, it's open. We generally get between 15 and 50 people attending. Filmmaking is a team effort. So if you know people, you can generally get together with people. And so we facilitate that. People can have their meetings at our center for free. It's not a problem. People show their films. They do short their screenings. We also helped fund last year about 18 shorts. So we also provide some funding through our fundraising efforts. So our goal is to help people stay local. We offer classes. We have 22 instructors. And once university and college students graduate from university, they no longer have access to equipment or studios. So that's the reason we need the center. We actually own right now about $300,000-$400,000 with equipment, which we'll soon be starting a rental program around for sliding scale. And then we will eventually also have studios, because you can't really produce in mom and dad's basement while you're paying off student loans.
Right, right.
Well, that's awesome that you're doing the rental side of it as well, because like I know from experience, like the equipment can get so costly and it can add up over time, especially if you're just starting out. Like, what do you think is the primary reason why there has been such a kind of an explosion of growth and interest for the center over the years? Like, what has led to that? Is it a reputational thing? Is there something about the area that's really attracting people who are interested in film and digital media? Like, what is that?
I think it's many things. WIF has grown, and WIF is about showing movies, and local filmmakers wanted to get in WIF, and Gavin led that, and now they're in WIF, and they do the 24-hour flick, and all of that has created interest. And the film camp has created a lot of interest because we are a feeder school to the University of Windsor Film School now. So people graduate, they want to stay local. We hire people. We were the first ones to start hiring film students, but now other people are hiring them. And then they make connections, and then they want to stay. I know several people have moved here from the big city because they didn't really want to be there in the first place, so they came back. But I've had a couple of people this year who worked at the camp, and now they're like 30, and they moved to Toronto, and then they come right back. Because it's easy to connect with people here. It's easy to get. I mean, I'm constantly finding free locations for people to shoot. It's just a different world here. And filmmakers in Montreal, Vancouver, Chicago are starting to see us, and Toronto starting to see us as a place. And more you'll see on social media, people's different films, so you can feel the energy and the action.
Awesome.
Well, Windsor, it has such a diverse, population. It has a diverse. You can go to Sandwich and find, old style buildings. You can go, we have you can go to modern buildings. You can go to wineries. You can have beaches. You can have. I mean, the cross section of both people and locations, lends to just a really great industry. I'm surprised, to be quite honest, that it hasn't grown before this.
If you look at other regions, even North Bay, they all started with a center like ours, a nonprofit center that tried to get the synergy going in the community, because this filmmaking is very grassroots and team oriented, and it's also a lot of freelance work. And so you need a place where people connect, and like we do anything we're asked, we'll find someone. If someone needs a type of camera, we'll help find it. If they need a computer to edit, we'll help find it. If they need a space to shoot in Chatham or Essex or Amherstburg or Windsor, we'll help them find it. So we're a big family community. We have people here who are newcomers, and they haven't done filmmaking since they lived in their home country. We have Makram from Lebanon, who was a documentary professor at a university and had a film company. He's been in Windsor for 7 years and working at the YMCA. And now he's back and making films. He discovered us. And then we have Rawad, who stood up at WIF and said, I never thought he's been here for 2 years. I never thought I'd ever make films again. And we did help fund some of his film. But it's happening. And diverse groups, we have some kids from Sandwich. I met a young man from Jamaica recently. He was a filmmaker in Jamaica who's living in Leamington. 2 weeks ago, I met a woman who's now volunteering for us every Wednesday. She's from Ethiopia, cannot speak very good English, but she has excellent writing skills. She was a TV producer in Ethiopia, and now she's a refugee here in Windsor. So it's locals and it's newcomers, everybody together on all ages.
I am curious, like when you look at over the last number of years, the changes in technology that have happened has been just I've been really there's just been a lot that's taken place. How does the center work with that, considering the advancements in AI and other technology that's taking place? Talk about the role. What's going on there with adapting to that?
Yeah, well, some of our instructors are really good at keeping up with that, and at networking we throw out the idea of what classes would you like next. I know that Peter Friel is big into Topaz, and Topaz is a software that can increase the pixels on your film. We've got some other, even right now we're teaching a class at Mental Health Connections in photography, and we're teaching on iPads and phones because we know they don't have expensive cameras. So there's all kinds of things. People are using AI for their scripts, and then they rewrite them and tweak them. So there's all kinds of things happening. And the technology, which we forgot to say earlier, is one of the reasons it's starting to boom, because more and more people are making it's an accessible industry.
Yeah, there's less barriers, I guess, to entry and stuff
Yeah.
compared to what there once was because of the rise of technology. And like there's a lot of more resources, I guess, now than there ever had been, right?
The other thing is too, people who live with a disability are finding that filmmaking is a field for them. Filmmaking and persons with autism, for an example, go hand in hand. Research has been done on that. We have quite a few people in the center who are living with autism. But even film editing, as I was talking to a gentleman a couple weeks ago, is great for, he's in a wheelchair, and it's a great career choice for a person who is physically has issues also. And he's very creative, but didn't know how he would go out and work and all of that. And we introduced him to this concept, and he's loving it. He's finding jobs virtually, and that's the other thing. You can go on Upwork and places like that and find jobs all over the world, but yet you can work locally.
Which is fantastic. Now, with the name, we've talked about cinema and the filming. We've talked about some of the digital, but the name also has the creative arts. So, what is it that you do with the creative arts community?
A great question. So we have a nonprofit and we have a charity. So our nonprofit is the Windsor Center for Film, Digital Media, and the Creative Arts. Our charity is the Media Arts Community Center and Museum, which we can also talk about in a second. But on the creative arts side, filmmaking is the art that grows all other arts. So whether you're a set builder, a makeup artist, an actor, a director, a musician, filmmaking attracts all of those together and grows all of them. So if we grow film, we grow theater. If we grow a film, we grow visual artists. And film is one of those areas that it's sometimes easier to get paid for once you get going. So a lot of people doing community film are also looking at acting in film and getting paid for that. But also a lot of the plays are now discovering, as they discovered during COVID, put your play on video and then put it online after, and you'll continue to get income from that. So yeah, but we have classes. We're trying not to duplicate what show is doing because they're our community partner, but some things we do together and some things we do separate, and some things our facility might allow more than theirs. We are not aiming to duplicate anything that show is doing, but occasionally there is overlap, and there may always be overlap because there's enough to go around for everyone. We do a little bit of film, we do a little bit of visual arts.
And for those of our viewers and listeners who don't know show, it's an art gallery in Windsor that puts on classes. It has a very diverse art space, so it's not just painting, it's all the arts. So I'm just filling in our audience for the information there. But when it comes to classes, do you put on classes for like makeup artists? Do you put on set design classes, or is that something that you just sort of direct the people towards?
We put them on. We actually had a government grant that helped us build courses. So we hired about 20 professionals in the community to develop classes for us in set design, set building, makeup artistry, costume design, production, pre-production, post-production, directing, film financing, and the list goes on. So we have about 20 plus classes. Acting and film, Sarah Booth, of course, taught that class. But yeah, we have a lot of classes, and we have now people, they know that we teach classes, and a lot of people are coming forward and saying, I don't have as much experience as that group, but I'd like to do a 3-hour class on this because I feel this is my expertise. At our networking classes, which are every Monday, though, we also have local people come speak. And that's been fantastic because we ask them to talk about where they've been, where they are now, where they're going, and lessons learned along the way. So you kind of get to know people and hear their struggles and hear their success stories. And it's very motivational. And that can be a person that's new to the industry or a seasoned person. And the story is always the same in that they have so much to share and people can learn from. And that's what it's really all about.
Well, that's the power of networking, right? And David, you know that. Like, just when you have that
what I
group
do.
of people together, they can learn, grow, and share together. And I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. I am definitely, Amanda, I am definitely with you on the power of networking. I have so many stories, and I'm sure you do, of people that, their lives have been, changed because of even a single networking event where an opportunity presented itself. So I think it's really a powerful tool.
Yeah, Jesse Payton, who's one of our networking persons, we don't have a membership yet, but we'll eventually have a membership program. But Jessie, as an example, she just launched her first music video. And as she noted on her Facebook page, she met everyone on the crew at the film center. And they've become very close. And now they're working on a TV project for children. So it's great.
Oh, fantastic.
That's the thing. Like, you never know who you meet when you're out and about. So, like, talk about yourself. I think, share, ask questions of other people, and then opportunities can come. And I think that's a great example that you're saying there with her music video, right? Just connecting with others. That's what it's all about.
And to be honest, having people like Sarah Booth, who is a phenomenal actor. I just watched Last Call, which a recent film that she's in, phenomenal performance. So having her there teaching those classes, that's, people are getting some, high-end, information and education there.
Yeah, we have, like Ted Bazare with Gavin Booth, Walter Rickey, Bill Rawlings. I mean, the list goes on. And we have most people in the industry in a big way are connected to us. And even if they're not teaching a class because they have too many other conflicts or such a busy schedule, they're still involved in referring people to our classes and coming out and speaking at networking. We've been doing networking since January, every single Monday, and I think we've only had the same speaker twice.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That shows the interest from the community of how they want to help come and support. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, and we're open every Monday. No fee, no pre-registration, 7:30. And I'll just give a plug for this at 664 Victoria. Just come register at the door, and it's free and guaranteed to meet people.
That's awesome. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. We're going to now learn a little bit more about you on a personal level. We're going to do some rapid fire questions. Are you ready, Amanda?
I'm ready.
Okay. We'll start easy here. Morning or night person?
Night person.
What's one word that describes your leadership style?
Creative.
Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
A little bit of both, but usually extrovert.
What's the best advice you've ever received in your career?
Mentor people.
What's your dream vacation destination?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a hard one. I love South Africa.
What's one skill that you wish you had?
Singing.
What's one thing that you can't live without?
My family.
What's your favorite hobby outside of what you do for work and as a volunteer there with the board?
Art.
What's one thing that you would love to tell your younger self if you could get in the time machine and go back in time?
Spend more time in the arts.
What's your favorite season of the year?
Spring.
What do you think's the most used app that's on your phone?
Oh my gosh. Messenger, probably. Is that an app?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And last question, what's your all-time favorite movie?
Oh my gosh.
That's a tough one for somebody like yourself.
That's a tough one. Oh my gosh. I love them all. I love, I'll pick a classic, Gone with the Wind.
There you go.
All ones like that. Yeah.
There you go. You survived. And I know the last one was a hard one because you've seen so many movies. I should have said like favorite genre, maybe. What would that be for you?
Yeah. I like history, to be honest. I like a dramatic history.
Nice.
So, Amanda, with everything going on, I know that you're working with growing the center. I know that there are plans to expand the building itself, hopefully in the future. When it comes to funding that kind of a project, what is it that you need from the community, or what is it that you're looking for to help with what you're doing?
That is a amazing question. I'm so glad you brought that up. We have a promise of we originally had a promise of a $2.9 million grant, a combination of a couple of grants from the government. We currently have 1.8 left, but it requires matching money, upfront matching money. So we did the money we raised so far, which is somewhere between $350,000 $450,000. It was spent and turned into well over $1 million from the government. So now we have 1.8 million left, but we need an extra 500,000 from the community before we can claim that. So we are looking for businesses. We're looking for 25 businesses to give us $10,000, and 10 businesses or individuals or foundations to give us $25,000. That would end our fundraising. We could finish the building. There are room namings available also for a higher price than that, and if those come through also, then we pay off our loan and we're debt free, and we just continue in bliss. So it's a great project, but we do require matching money. The government doesn't give us 1.8 without the community supporting it. So the community gives us 500,000 in the way that I said. I broke it down into pieces that people can understand. We raise 500,000, which we're trying to do right now, and then that becomes 1.8 million, which is amazing. And we have to claim that money before they decide we can't do it. Windsor's not interested. Let's send it back to Toronto.
Right. So it's great to let the people know who are listening and viewing here that there is a great center that is growing, that is helping the community, that is offering access to young and old, across the spectrum. But that it needs some financial, support. And if it doesn't get it, then unfortunately, yes, like a lot of government projects, if a city or a town doesn't utilize the funds, they assume that you don't want it and they divert it to something else, and that would be a real shame for Windsor.
Yeah, and we already, just to add there, and every dollar counts. We're taking donations from $20, $50, $100, because it all adds up and it all helps to pay utilities and the ongoing. But we have already put well over $1 million, probably about $1.3 million into the building. And plus we've done a new roof, and there's solar going on the roof next week. So we continue to work, and there's no going back now. Windsor has to do this. People are too excited to give it up. They'll never give it up. And we need the building to make it grow. We need those studios. We need to be able to rent that equipment. We need the networking spaces, the creative spaces, the teaching spaces. We have, and it is a church, it's an old church building. So we have an auditorium built in with great acoustics. And we also have a plan to build a film museum in the building. Every room will have museum pieces. And we've been collecting, and the community's been so responsive, collecting old film and camera equipment. People are donating the equipment from their parents and their grandparents, and it'll be all over the building. So we're also going to be attracting tourism, which tourists can come, have lunch, they have a full kitchen, have lunch, stay for a play or a short film or a stand-up comedy or a book reading. So it's going to help everyone.
Where can people find more information about what the center does, or if they want to, contribute, they want to donate? Where can they best do that?
It's windsorfilmmaking.com.
Easy.
Nice and easy. I like that.
Love it. That is the way to go.
Now, Amanda, just real quick here before we finish up. if somebody wanted to come and take a look and get a tour, do you give tours of the building, or is it just something that they have to come to events to see?
No, we give tours all the time, and the email is team@windsorfilmmaking.com. So windsorfilmmaking.com is the website. Team@windsorfilmmaking.com is the email. And then my phone number is 519-819-8964.
Perfect. We got all the options there, so people can follow along. They can send an email. They can call you. They can again have those tours. This was awesome today, Amanda. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and what you're doing there with the center as well, and how you're helping the Windsor Essex region for those who are interested in film and digital media creative arts. It's awesome.
I'll just add one more thing. We have an email blast, and right now we have on our kids' email list, we have over 400 households, and our adult email blast, we have 364 people in climbing. So there's a lot of interest.
Yeah, at a family level and at a young person level, that's amazing to have that interest, and that just it's more people to continue to keep this industry in this region going. So that's
got to keep that ball rolling for sure. Absolutely.
awesome.
Okay,
Again,
well,
thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.